Sweet, sweet, sweet melody. For one whole day you'll feel merry, but all is broken on the second day. All is lost, as one would say. You shall walk this world, humming this tune, until another shall fall upon its dune. Sweet, sweet, sweet sound, you shall be bound. As a young boy named Ken walks down the street towards his home, he notices a man wearing a trench coat and a top hat humming a sound. It was such a sweet sound. He smiled and gazed upon the man's face, and he couldn't quite see it properly anyhow. Ken hummed the same tune as the man passed by him. He reached his home and enjoyed the rest of his day. As he slept in bed, he hummed that same tune that he had earlier. It was such a sweet sound. The next day he woke up and prepared for school. His head, he still had that catchy hum as he heard the day before. He went down the stairs into the dining room. He ate his breakfast and went out to the bus stop. As he waited for the bus, he hummed a sweet melody. The bus picked him up. He's still humming that very lovely tune when his classmates went up to him and said, "That's a very nice song you're humming." Ken smiled and just continued humming. His other classmates went on to him and also complimented him. They also started to give him money for no apparent reason. He asked why, but they didn't answer. He was very happy about this. When he went to class, he was still humming that sweet melody. His teacher was giving a lecture, but when she heard the sound of Ken's humming, she decided that there would be no lecture and said that everyone would have bonus points. Ken was very, very happy. At the end of the day, he walked home, but as he walked, he hummed that wonderful tune. Then the girl of his dreams, upon hearing his sound, went to Ken and asked if she could walk with him. Ken obviously agreed. Ken was very, very, very happy. And so he came home from school. He laid in his bed in awe. He had such a great day, all because of that extraordinary hum. The next day came and he prepared for school and waited for the bus. When he was on the bus, he hummed his new tune, but somehow everything went wrong. The bus went into the woods and stopped there. He continued to hum, but it got worse. The people around him started saying random words. When they attacked each other, they clawed and bit each other. Everyone has gone mad. Blood splattered through the floor as one of them bit the bus driver in the throat. The bus driver tried to scream, but the boy plunged his hand into the driver's mouth until his hand was completely submerged. Then he started pulling at the jaw. It was a sight of pure horror. Ken jumped out the window, hoping to avoid the chaos. He thought to himself, "Why did this happen? I'll hum the tune again, and maybe everything will be better." He did so, and then the girl he liked came out of the bus with blood dripping down her sleeve. She looked at him with a blank face. Then after a while, she ran towards Ken with a face of terror and anger. Ken ran for his life at the sight, and he ran deep into the woods without looking back. He heard the screaming of the girl behind him, but as he ran, the screams faded away. He stopped and looked back, taking a big gasp of air. He wondered why this was happening to him. When the man in the trench coat appeared in front of him, Ken was consumed with anger and shouted at the man, "It's your fault it's happening." The man remained silent for a while. Then he removed his coat, covered with old ragged bandages. Then the bandages began to unravel themselves from the man around Ken. Ken struggled, but the bandages still wrapped around him like a serpent. He screamed for help, but it was useless. No one was there to hear him. It wrapped around him from his head to toe. When the bandages had completely wrapped Ken's body, the man said, "You shall walk this world while humming that cursed tune until another shall take its tune." Then the man faded away like dust. Ken tried to tear the bandages, but every time they rip, it reattaches itself to his skin. He continuously did this until his arms were tired, and he knew it was useless. Ken was at first filled with sorrow, which was followed by anger. Ken tried to scream, but he had lost his voice. Ken tried to speak, but he couldn't. He wondered why. He tried to hum that tune, and he was able to do so. It seemed like the only sound he could make. In sorrow, Ken took the coat, wore it, and left. He began to hum that tune. sweet, sweet, sweet sound. You shall be bound. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.